All right, now people can comment. All right, good, good, good. People can comment. Because before, people couldn't see me on here. And okay, cool. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Got it, got it, got it. I was having a little technical difficulties here with YouTube, but let me check some things out before I start talking. I got to listen to a few things and everything. I hope everybody's doing good at lunchtime. All right, we looking good. We sounding good. I'm trying to give people a few more minutes to get in. I don't want to take much of your time talking about this particular issue. I know some of y'all on lunch right now, and that was the purpose of me trying to come on is lunchtime. Because I know between 11 and 1, a lot of people are on, YouTube. It's definitely our channel. So let's talk about a few things. Like I said, I'm gonna give a few more people a minute or two get in. Just let me look at it here. I'm looking at some of the comments. I can't show you comments because I'm doing something else on the StreamYard. So we just have to go the old school way. All right, I'll give you guys one more minute and we gonna get it. One more minute. All right. If people are just coming in, well, you're gonna have to rewind it back and then you'll be able to see it. Thank you everyone for joining us today, of course, on a impromptu live stream. Let me make sure I put this silent because somebody always want to call me, interrupt me when I'm doing a live stream, which is very rare for me. Live streams, I think is cool, but due to my environment, is not as controlled. It may be a little bit more controlled next week. My daughter, she's gonna be going to school, so I have a little bit more controlled environment. Maybe next week, so maybe I can do more lives. But the purpose of me, doing this live stream today is we're gonna talk about Joe Biden. He picked his vice president pick, Kamala Harris. Okay. So I'm not going to, in this live stream, rehash all the things I've said in the past about Joe Biden and his record. I'm not going to rehash all the things about Kamala Harris and her record. Not going to do that. It's not this live stream. If you want to see those videos, go back to those videos. You can check those videos out here on our channel. We talked about this exclusively. But the reason I want to have this conversation is because when it comes to politics, we can't really go on who we like. That's not really life either. One thing about us in the Black community, we are at times too emotional on things. And this world is a very cold world and it doesn't move on emotion. So we gotta have to move without emotion when it comes definitely to politics. Just like your boss on the job. You may not like your boss at all, can't stand them, but you're not gonna just walk off from your job just because you don't like your boss, right? As long as your paycheck is coming in, you're gonna have to deal with that particular boss until they either quit, leave, or you get a better job, whatever. So when it comes to politicians, I don't know any of them. You don't know any of them. I don't know no Donald Trump, Joe Biden. I don't know none of them people. I'm not trying to know them. I don't even care about knowing them. All I care about is the policies that they're going to put into play that can affect your community, my community, for the good or the bad. That's really all I care about. I don't care what you look like, what you do. All I care about is your policies. The key word is policy, period. Okay. So I've been, getting a few emails here and there from different organizations, talking about, this election. And, I say, well, maybe we need to go down this road and talk about the election because they listen and understand, guys. The media is listening to this platform. I have the evidence of it. The MSNBCs, your CNNs, your CBS, whoever else, they're all listening. So I might as well talk and give them something to chew on a little bit. Because they'll listen, they'll come over and maybe enjoy the show. I don't know, but they won't invite us on as a guest, and that's fine. They don't have to. We have our own show. Well, let's have that conversation about the election. Now, a lot of people did not like the choice of Kamala Harris. I was seeing that on these internet streets. Some people were saying, well, I really don't want to support now because of, who he picked. Some people not liking the fact that, of course, Kamala Harris in the past have tried to pander. Some people don't like the situation with Kamala Harris is that she isn't a descendant of enslaved Africans coming from this soil. We're not talking about the Jamaican soil. We're talking about this soil. Some people don't like that the majority of her upbringing is more so Indian, from India, not really so much being a Jamaican. Some people don't like that. We learned from the last president who did not really have that connection with us. It kind of played into some of his decision making. OK, even though they treated him, racist, still, they kind of, played a little bit into that. So now, we're kind of looking like, OK, you can't really get black people's attention with, dancing to Cardi B. Matter of fact, that's the wrong thing to do, is dance to anybody. At the same time, Joe Biden himself, he has his issues with the 1994 crime bill that he has not really tried to rectify or apologize for. So these are the two people that we have to deal with here now. Okay, so you have Donald Trump here and Mike Pence, and you have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. It's a messed up choice. It's a messed up choice. We just have to discuss these choices. Do what you want to do. I'm not telling you how to vote, when to vote, don't vote, do vote. Not telling you that. That's not what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to just bring up, different facts. We're supposed to have just a discussion, and we can make our own decisions as we see fit, right? But let's look at most of the tail of the tape, right? Let's just think about this. Donald Trump, in my opinion, would have coasted to win easily if it wasn't for one thing: coronavirus. Coronavirus was the thing for Donald Trump to show that he is truly a leader. And he showed that he is a failure. He showed that he does not want to take the brunt of any responsibilities. We've seen him over and over say, oh, it's the states. Let the states do it. Wait a minute. That's not the way it works as a president. So we look at the results of Donald Trump's failures. We have to say it's a failure. You have 160,000 plus people dead. That's a reality. He also wanted to open up the states real quick. It wasn't even shut down that long. OK, he says, let's open up the churches. Churches open back up. People get coronavirus. He says, let's open up the schools. Schools open back up. What's happening? Kids are getting coronavirus. You understand? Because he didn't want to make the hard decisions at an early stage to cause this to be possibly over with right now. It's not about liking Donald Trump or not. It's about the results. At the end of the day, 160,000 people are dead. And of course, we talk about here the black community worldwide. So out of the 160,000, there's a lot of black people that died as well. It's not about saying who died more, who died less, and care less. One person within our community dying is too many. It could have been preventable. OK, now you look at Joe Biden. The only reason people maybe even look his way is because of coronavirus. So a few things Joe Biden and Kamala Harris going to have to do, bottom line, because if you're listening. Number one, Joe Biden, you must answer for the 1994 crime bill. You cannot be trying to deflect whatever. The only thing that you can do with the 1994 crime bill is, first of all, apologize for it. Don't make an excuse. Apologize for it. Number two, the only thing you can do with the 1994 crime bill is you have to be the person that has to be the person that's going to end mass incarceration. That has to be what you must do. If you're not willing to end mass incarceration, then Donald Trump is going to bring up, and I would bring it up about Donald Trump. Well, hey, Joe Biden put all these people in jail. Look at the mass incarceration after this 1994 crime bill. I had the First Step Act. Look how many people getting out of jail versus how many Joe put in jail. Trump's going to defeat you every time on the First Step Act. He is. Whether you agree with it or not, he has that advantage over Joe Biden. Joe Biden must, number one, be the person say, I'm going to end mass incarceration. How I'm going to end it? I'm going to incentivize the states to make people be at home, not be in jail, because the 1994 crime bill incentivized states to build more prisons to get more federal dollars. So what they have to do is reverse that and say, I'm going to give you money to stop building prisons, and I'm going to give you money to stop putting people in jail. OK, one way you can do that is home confinement for people who haven't had violent crimes. We're not saying we want people that create freaking murders out here or rapists or whatever else out here, terrorists. No, but people who are, a lot of people in jail are for drug offenses. Those people should be on home confinement if they didn't kill anybody. OK, that's one way you can do that. Electronic monitoring, let them be at home. Now, if they mess that up, that's on them. But we should not be focusing on trying to put people in jail. Joe, you're going to have to reverse that. You can't make excuses. Another thing, Joe, when you have something for Black America, you can't say Black America, African American, and then start this people of color. That's not going to work if you want to win. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just giving some friendly advice. We talking about the election here. If you want to win, because see, don't be emailing me, because if you come on this show, I'm going to bring the same thing I'm telling to you now, no matter who your surrogate is that can come over here. If something is for African Americans, it's for African Americans. It's not for people of color. We're not people of color. It's not a protected class. It's not who we are. OK. And to me personally, the older I get, the more I get offended by being labeled that some sort of people of color, call me a minority, or even labeling me by a color. I prefer just me. I'm not saying anybody else. I like African American a little bit more than Black. I say that's me, because we have thousands upon thousands years of history. We're the original people of the planet Earth. I mean, that Black is what your ancestors created, not mine. So that's the reason why I don't kind of like it. But that's just my personal opinion on that. Another thing that has to be addressed. Now we talk about your vice president. She must address her actions as an attorney general and how she's going to fix that. Along with you, you got to end the 3 strikes law. You got to do that, because that's going to be Achilles heel, and Donald Trump's going to get you on all of that. What I'm talking about right now, he's going to get you. He's going to get you in the debate pretty bad on that. I would if I was running against you. Mike Pence is going to do the same thing with Kamala about her record as a prosecutor. I'm just saying, well, how could they really go against that? How could they say anything? You don't have a record of Mike Pence or Donald Trump doing that. You don't. So that's a big hurdle. Another hurdle. Both of y'all gonna have to come out and figure out what was that conversation behind the scenes for y'all to get together like that. Because last time we saw Kamala told Joe Biden that she believes his accusers and basically called him a racist. So what happened behind the scenes with that? I mean, these are things that you got to kind of, address publicly and dead that, because Donald Trump, once again, he's going to ride that. I mean, you're not dealing with an average politician here. If you want to defeat Donald Trump, it's actually not hard to defeat Donald Trump. It's really not at this point, but little things like that, he can poke holes in what you're doing or what you're saying to him, just enough doubt to get people to say, you know what, I'm good. I'm sitting this one out. And that's going to be horrible for you. Another thing, Joe Biden, Kamala, don't pander to Black people. What I mean by don't pander, don't dance, don't sing, don't anything. The key word is policy. We got to have that word. Policy directed at our issues. Our issues are many. If the majority of your voters or a good voter block is Black Americans, then I'm telling you, you will lose this election if you do not come up with policies to address the issues in Black America. I'm telling you this. Do not count on Black America to show up for you, even though we have coronavirus. I'm telling you, because the issue you have now is Black Americans that say, listen, we're about 15% of the population, and we can't even get a slice of the pie. But we see people coming across the border that just got here getting concessions. People coming off of airplanes, no matter where they come from, being immigrants in here, getting concessions. We haven't got anything. And our ancestors built this place All the concessions that immigrants coming into this country are getting is off of the back, it's off of the blood, it's off of the dead, cold bodies of our ancestors. Okay. And how is it that people are taking advantage of what we fought for and died for? They didn't even fight and die for it. At least if they fought and died for it, we can respect it. But they didn't even fight and die for it. We did. Any little thing that we got, we had to die for it, literally, for just to live normal life. Civil rights, voting rights, whatever you want to call it. We had to die for it to get it. And other people can just waltz into this country and get it. And then they can come in at the same time, look back at us and say, hey, why you African Americans ain't doing what I'm doing? You get what I'm saying? At the same time, they turn around and disrespect us. So that got to change. Black Americans are saying this. You got to have some policies. And these policies got to address a few things. Number one, the wealth gap. We got to have that. On top of mass incarceration, you got to end that. That's part of that too. The wealth gap. We have seen, time and time again in this country, and this is data out here to prove it. And I just got a new, study from LendingTree.com actually based on, the wealth gap. Nothing has changed with the wealth gap. Black American families do not have what white American families have. And that's been done by design. You and Kamala going to have to address that and figure that one out. You're going to have to. You want the black vote, you're going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to audit the banks. You're going to have to do that because the banks is the majority of the problem. They're the one denying of credit. They the one deny business loans. They deny home loans. It's the banks. And the banks just mysteriously approve nothing but a lot of white people, but black people, they get denied. Why is that? You never say a reason. So the banks need to be audited. So at least it could be what black people mostly saying is we need our slice of the pie. In other words, you need to be equal. Give equal amount to everybody, right? And equal means we will get a lot more than what we're getting now. That's what we're saying. When we talk about the police, you need to end qualified immunity. If you do not end qualified immunity, we still going to have the same problem with the police. Okay. And if we're going to have a problem with the police, what a lot of people are saying is if you don't address that, you're not going to be in there. Donald Trump is going to be back. He's going to be president another 4 years. If you don't say, I'm going to end qualified immunity, you have to end that. That's just bottom line. You have to do that. We're seeing people protest all over the country. We see what happened. Look, Breonna Taylor, the cops is not even arrested at all for Breonna Taylor. Not even arrested. I haven't even really heard a call from you, Joe Biden. And I don't know if Kamala said anything, so I'm not going to I don't know. But Joe Biden, I haven't heard you say a word about the police officers that killed Breonna Taylor needs to be arrested. We ain't heard that. Now, I know somebody can say, well, you ain't heard it from Donald Trump. Right. We haven't, but we expect that. But why is it that Black America is going to reward you with a presidency when you don't even want to address our issues, when we the majority of your voters? You got to start speaking up about Breonna Taylor. You need to start putting pressure on that attorney general too, and say, hey, those cops need to be charged. Those cops need to be arrested for that. And ending qualified immunity will make that easier. And you can do that. Sure, you can say Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is that. I grant it. Listen, Donald Trump has done so many things that I can't even agree with. Donald Trump's presidency is a failure. You have to admit that it's a failure. He has this hold on his party. Like I say, I call him Jim Jones, the cult member, because he's literally like Jim Jones to these people. Whatever he says, these people do. Like these people have no minds. Whatever Donald Trump say goes. That's how they believe. But even though with that much of a hold, you cannot really, fearmonger black people say, see, but if he gets in, more people going to die. Well, I mean, we've been dealing with a pandemic as being black in America for hundreds of years. That's the pandemic we've been dealing with. So you're not going to really scare black people to go vote at this point. You got to have the key word, policies. Another thing we'll have to talk about is reparations. Yes, reparations. And I know, Joe, you don't support reparations as of this point. Kamala, well, she said that she's not only going to do something for black people. No, I get it. But if you really want to win like talking about, you're going to have to discuss reparations. And I'm not talking about a study either. I'm talking about cash payments. You know why you have to discuss cash payments? Because there was a thing called the CARES Act where Congress didn't need a study. They approved $2 trillion like this with no study. Put checks in everybody's hands like this, no study. So if you can do that with the CARES Act, it's kind of easy to do with reparations. It's kind of a slam dunk thing to do. If you don't want to address reparations, don't worry about it. Because the Democrat Party, you need to listen. I know some of you like to listen to Roland and different ones like that. I'm telling you, you're going to lose if you don't address reparations. You need to address it. You need to. Black America is saying we are tired of watching everybody get a slice of the pie. We're tired of everybody getting this and getting that, and we get nothing. And then we're told that we need to be good Black Americans and go vote on election day. And then we elect somebody and we still get nothing. We always being told, just wait. We've been told, wait, always told wait. Well, the waiting is over with. If we're going to wait, then we're not going to participate and we're going to wait. That's the way it's working. You got to give policies to Black America in order for us to galvanize us to vote. Using Donald Trump is just not going to do it at this point. Well, look how racist he is. Man, we've been dealing with worse than Donald Trump for hundreds of years. I hate to break the news to you. Hundreds upon hundreds of years. I mean, come on. I mean, you ever remember guys like Bull Connor and, just to name one? So why are you mentioning him like he is the creator of racism in America? And I know other people who may, watch this channel may say, but Phil, it's kind of bad. Look what he's doing. Listen, I agree with you. Listen, he is a failure. He's an idiot. Trust me on what I'm telling you. I want him gone too. But I don't want him gone at the expense of watching another election happen and we get nothing out of it. Symbolism. That's another thing, Democrats. Symbolism's not working. The reason why symbolism is not working is because we have seen the symbolism game and we know it now. Black faces with a white supremacist agenda, it's not working. I don't care what color a person is, as long as they give an agenda that's going to fix the issues in the Black community. Why do you think a black face is all we need? That's kind of insulting. Oh, if I just put, and I know people told you he need to put a black woman. He need to put a black woman. Once again, that would have been my pick. I mean, beyond with you, you done better picking. Out of a few I did hear you done better picking Stacey Abrams or Keisha Bottoms, even though I don't agree with a lot of things she's doing, than the one you picked. But it's no reason for me to go down that route. Okay, because those two don't have that record that she has. But it's neither here nor there. You picked who you picked. If you don't address these issues, you're going to lose. I'm telling you, you're going to lose. I've seen way too many people not liking your choice. So the both of you better get hunkered down, listen to what I'm saying, and go back to the lab and say, I need to come up with policies because if I'm going to lose this election. Coronavirus won't get them out there enough. Another thing that you need to do, you're talking about voting, you need to have a strong campaign against attacking Republicans, against disenfranchising black voters, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to stop black people from voting. Why haven't you said anything about those cases with those two black women that voted? how they're attacking them, trying to make them black people fearful to vote. You got to listen to what I'm saying. You got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you, and I may take the time once a week to try to, see what you're going to do within a week. And it's a way even to defeat Donald Trump, even on his failures, media-wise, but I'm not going to give it to you. And the reason why I'm not going to give it to you here is because I don't want you guys to sit here and listen to my video, write down everything I'm saying, how to actually attack Donald Trump and actually have him quiet to a point. And then somebody else, wanting somebody on your team take my idea and then do it. And, oh, man, I want to thank them. I'm like, no, you ain't stealing my idea. That's why I ain't telling you how it is. Because I know, nope. If you want an idea, you come, hire me. I'll do it. I'll fix it. Other than that, no. But I'm going to fix something for you. And it's definitely going to be policies. We got to have policies. It's that simple. We don't need Amazing Grace because a lot of us don't go to church no more anyway. We need policies. Another thing, you need to end the, make marijuana basically legal, end that, the criminalization of marijuana at the federal level. Black folks need also to be in on the marijuana money as well, because it's amazing how when black people were selling marijuana, they were getting locked up. Now you make it legal, and the people who make millions of dollars are all white people. So the black people are criminalized. When it's legal, white people can get involved with it and make millions. But black people can't be involved in it like that. They make it very hard for them to get licensed. Very hard for them to get the money to have dispensaries, etc. Now, I don't like the smell of marijuana. Can't stand it. I think it's repugnant, the smell of marijuana. If it's up to me, I would say if you're going to smoke it anywhere in public, you need to have a THC oil in the vape pen because you can't smell it. But if you do the regular marijuana, hell no. You do that in your home somewhere. I don't see how people smoke that. I don't see it. I think that smell annoys me. And then why would I want my clothes smelling of that? But that's people, that's their life, do what they want to do. I just think you need to do it at your house. I don't believe you need to do it in public. That's just my opinion, if you make it legal. But black folks need access as well to that dispensary money and those licenses. Because how is it that black people are the main ones being ushered into jail for marijuana, but they don't benefit off of it? Their records need to be expunged in any state that made marijuana legal. There's a whole lot of things that you guys need to do to make things right with the black community. And also, if you was to do marijuana, that's not reparations either. Reparations is cash payments. Reparations is old. I want to make sure I put that out there. Reparations is old. It is not a debt. I'm sorry, it's not a handout, because they like to say it's a handout. And then I always tell people who's watching, never argue with these people about, well, how are we going to pay it? Say the same way they paid that CARES Act, the United States Treasury. They got all of y'all banking information. So it would be nothing for them to go ahead on and drop your coronavirus. They did your coronavirus money, they can drop your reparations, period. There's no excuse. So Democrats, you're going to have your homework cut out for you with public policy. Donald Trump is just not going to, you can fearmonger to a point, but you got to have policy now. Because number one, Joe wasn't really the ones most people wanted anyway. And then another section of thing that this is me personally saying this because I just feel this is important as well. You do need to also push Medicare for all, because you have a big section of the population that wants that. You need to push Medicare for all. And the reason why I support Medicare for all, because there's a lot of poor people within our community who don't have any access to health care. And Medicare for all would actually help people within our community who haven't had access to doctors and things like that. So that's why I support that, because I just see that just being at the, level within the communities. That's very, very important. Now, of course, there's people that don't support it, but the people that don't support it is more so on this white supremacist mindset. And when I say white supremacist, I don't mean a white supremacist extremist like a KKK or neo-Nazi. That's a white supremacist extremist. Always remember that. A white supremacist is anyone that believes that white should be on top and it should dominate and should have access to everything over anybody else. That is a white supremacist. Okay. Most white supremacists don't want Medicare for all, or those who have those leanings, because they feel that they should have all the health care. They should have the best. They should have this. They should have that. And Medicare for all would equal the playing field where everybody could, go, especially within our community, can go to the doctor, to go, see dentists, to go do, except, whatever. Most people, if you look at the research in the countries that have like a national health care, like NIH system, or the one in Canada, et cetera, they have a lot better life expectancy than people who don't have that. Just letting you know that, right? So that do affect people within our community. But I'm just trying to give a few things that they can start working on. Okay, so let's just recap. You must end mass incarceration, ending that 1994 crime bill and the 3 strikes law. You got to incentivize states to stop locking people up by paying them money. Home confinement would be the best for people that is nonviolent, right? You must end qualified immunity on police, or we still going to have this problem completely. Because when the police realize that I can't just kill people willy-nilly like this, then you'll have to start having a change. Now, people is starting to hold the cops more accountable now, but with that qualified immunity, that's something that you guys can do. Reparations, you gotta have reparations. It's just bottom line. Everybody else is getting reparations. The Native Americans get reparations. They do, in the billions every year. Black Americans deserve their billions every year too, for the atrocities, for what we went through. Not just slavery, but Jim Crow, redlining, all the things that we had. I mean, the destruction of many, many black towns and neighborhoods. We have to be financially made whole. Our whole problem is economics. It's not symbolism, it's economics. Everything's go back to economics. We can have better health care if we have money. We can have better homes if we have money. A lot of times our relationships are in trouble, even with family, because of money. Okay. If we had money, our families would stay together a lot more. Everything goes back to money. We deal with a lot of issues in our community that we need therapy. It goes back to money. We need money to go have some therapy, because Black America really needs a lot of therapy. Actually, the whole Black world needs therapy, but for sure we need therapy because we deal with things that should not even be dealt with. Okay. Some people outside our community can't deal with isolation with coronavirus. Well, we've been isolated in America ever since we've been here. So we need therapy just as much as anybody else. Okay. You have to make it your legacy to turn around, you and Kamala, to turn around the damage you guys have done in the area of incarceration. It's just that simple. If you guys not willing to do that, then don't expect nobody to come out and vote for you. You can't fearmonger with Donald Trump. You can't. Donald Trump's actually easy to defeat at this point, but the issues with you two guys is going to make it where he can defeat you until you address those things head on. Okay. What we discussed, federal level, marijuana, it needs to be legal. Let everybody out of jail, expunge their record. Let Black folks get involved with the dispensary as well. That's just should be the right thing to do. The people that went to jail for marijuana, give them the licenses to go in and sell marijuana legally. That'd be a good way. Also, another thing, in prison record discrimination, you should do that as well. How can a person get out of jail and get a job? You're blocking them right now. You let people discriminate because somebody went to jail. You need to end that. There's so many different things that we discussed that you guys need to do. So I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see, what you guys are gonna do. What moves are you gonna make? Now, some people had their mind made up, saying they just not gonna vote for anybody, and that's fine. I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. But for the people that say, well, let me see what's going to go on because Donald Trump is really bad. And, I know, like I say, my daughter, I've said this on Instagram, my daughter had got COVID-19. My cousin, he was on the ventilator, had got COVID-19. Okay. So coronavirus is very personal for me based on just what I'm telling you. So do you really think I want Donald Trump in there? No. But at the same time, I know coronavirus just won't be it for Black America to get, him out of there or participate. And understand we're the swing vote. You know that. Don't neglect the Black vote, Democrats, leadership that's listening. Don't neglect the Black vote. You're going to make that tragic mistake. Your leader up there, what is his name? Tom Perez. You think Black people are playing about their reparations and what we dealing with? If you really think, because every time, and I'm addressing you, Tom Perez, every time somebody tried to bring up reparations, you hurry up and made sure they stop talking about that. That issue alone will make Joe Biden lose. You better listen. You better listen. Black America is tired of what? Listen, a Lori Lightfoot isn't reparations. A Keisha Bottoms isn't reparations. Okay? That's not. A Barack Obama isn't reparations. A Supreme Court pick of a Black woman, that's what y'all say y'all want to do, isn't reparations. You should have done that anyway. It's not reparations. If you do Medicare for all, that's not reparations. Reparations is money. It's more than just money, of course, but the main thing is money. Because if you don't have fundamental change in America, you can get all the reparations you want. These people figure out a way to undermine it and take it right back. Well, for sure, it's money. So you guys have a few months. It's August, have November to get to the drawing board, figure out what policies you're going to present to Black America, and we'll be fair. We will let people know what they are and read them. And if you guys want to send people over to interview to discuss different things, it's fine. But also Democrat candidates, I'm telling you the same thing. You better be about the things we're talking about, or you're not going to win either. You being Black is not enough. Barack Obama then kind of ruined that for y'all. Being Black isn't enough. Policy and what you're going to do, public policy, and that has to say African-American, whatever, not African-American, then people of color, minorities, We're going to reject that every time. I'm telling Black folks, anytime they say people of color relation to us, I don't know who you're talking about. Who's people of color? Who's minorities? Who is that? That's not a protected class in this country. Who is that? We're not gonna take a back seat no longer. We're not doing that. So do your thing, Democrats. Donald Trump probably listening too, because there's people over here listening too. They may be taking some cues from me too and saying, man, I need to start doing this so they can vote for Trump. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they listening. All of them listening. Trust me, I know they're listening. So y'all need to get to work, because you're not gonna win, Democrats, if you don't give policy that's going to benefit us. It's time for Black America to have their piece of the pie now. We're not going to the back of the line no more and watching people just get here, get ahead of us, and then the back of us and say, I don't know why y'all ain't done this, man. Y'all been here this long, and I been here 5 years and I didn't got this. But if it wouldn't been for us, you wouldn't even came over here. So no, we can't do that no more. We just can't do that. Oh, Queen, hold on, Queen Candace. Let me address that. Let me address what she just said. She said they're trying to figure out how much they could buy you, like Roland over there. Not for sale. I'm not for sale. I'm gonna repeat that. I'm not for sale. Only thing I want to hear about is what policies you're gonna put out there. That's all. I want to know the policies. That's it. The policies. I'm not going to come up here and say, well, we can't fight for reparations right now. No, We need to get reparations right now. You did a CARES Act. I'm going to repeat that again. $2 trillion, no study. So we need our reparations. Just that simple. So I want to make sure to address that. There ain't nobody for sale over here. I mean, that's kind of bad to even think like that if somebody is up for sale. Listen, my ancestors, were sold against their will. I'm not about to be sold by choice. Not going to do that. And listen, I understand as a politician, you got to address all communities. I get it. Listen, if anybody get it, I get it. But you better address the black one. I know what I'm telling you, because some of the communities that you're trying to go toward, they don't historically vote for you. Some of them vote more Republican. They'll come towards you to get what they want. And then when they get what they want, they go back and voting Republican. And I know why they vote Republican. I know why. Because one of the main things they say is that there's another thing. We talking about the new black people now. We ain't talking about the civil rights generation. Stop promoting that abortion too. We don't want to hear that. That's something we do not want to hear. You're not gonna come bring that to us either. I'm letting you know that, because that turns me off. Because listen, we got enough death coming in the black community. We don't need it promoted like that. That's why, some other groups don't support you like that. Leave that. Stop promoting that. Definitely don't promote that to us. Take your Planned Parenthood, put it in those other communities. We ain't asking for Planned Parenthood. We need reparations. That's what we need. Reparations, not Planned Parenthood. With reparations, we can take care of our children. We good. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'll check a few of these comments, real quick. That's kind of all I have. I want to address them. Yeah, I get that. You want to push any clinics in our community, push fertility clinics. You want to push anything. So I read somebody say that. Another thing, don't be pushing that. Black women are the backbone. Listen, black men and black women are together. We are a group. If you start that trying to separate us, you will lose. We're not playing those games. Like all of the don't push feminism. That's not going to work either. We are together. We are one group. We are one people. You don't push that. White women are the this and white men. No, you don't push that. You use them as one group. So don't do that. Well, yeah, you mentioned other communities. Yes, they vote Republican. They do, because they not for that. That's a lot of that. They're not. Another thing, what we need you to do, and this is me saying this, we need to see African Americans be ambassadors in African nations. I can't even think of one ambassador that is Black American that's an ambassador to an African nation. Every time I look up, it's no one that represents Black America that's an ambassador to an African nations. Why is that? Or Caribbean nations. We need to see more representation there too. I was looking at the ambassador of Kenya. He don't look like me. Or the people that support y'all the most. You look at all these African nations, and most of them don't have nothing to do with Black folks. If you even have people that's from that group, even an ambassador. So that's something else y'all need to do. There's a whole lot of things y'all need to fix. Because all this, we giving you representation. Like I said, representation is no. We don't need symbolism. We need actual things that we can point to as tangible. And we need Black people to be representatives in Ghana, or be representative in Nigeria, or be a representative, in Sierra Leone, etc. We need to have that. You talking about your policy with Africa? Your policies with Africa would go a lot better if you did that. And you wouldn't be worrying about what China's doing at that point. But that's, what they call geopolitics. Yeah, see, and get it. Yeah, because we don't have ambassadors, but we've never opened our mouth to say it either. So I can't say we have talked about this. But yes, we need ambassadors from the U.S. and Black America to be an ambassador in Africa, in African nations. You have 54 or 55 different nations, and we don't see 55 or 54 different brothers or sisters being ambassadors. We don't see it. We need to see that. So, like I said, guys, I'm not gonna talk your ear off because I can do that, right? I can do that. But let's just let them see what they're gonna do. We're gonna convene another, like maybe next week or so. Let's look at this and see. But we're gonna keep the drum beat going. We're gonna keep it going. I have a lot of content that I gotta upload for you guys. Make sure if you haven't, our website, AfricanDiasporaNews.org. Become a member. And the reason why we're saying become a member is because we're building our website up. And, we talk about things we don't talk about here on this, main channel. And we trying to get our website up at least a minimum of 5,000 members. And that's our goal, 5,000 members out of all the people that watch here. We want to get you over there. We having a lot of things that's going good, changing. And, I think it's going to be a good future because we don't have our own websites, guys. We don't have anything because understand, YouTube it's just their website and they can do whatever with the numbers. They can do whatever with the monetization, whatever they want, they can do. And I don't feel that we as, Black content creators to have everything through, like say YouTube, we need to have our own. We need to have it. We can have a conversation. And the reason why we went to a membership style, website is because we don't get ads or anything like that. We don't. They don't come my way with it at all. So we felt that was the best way to do that. But, we got some time for the election and let's look into it. Let's look into the election. Let's see what's going on. We're not going to be out here, shucking and jiving and bootlicking. We're not going to do that. We're not. We're going to keep the drum beat going. Okay. We're not going to change the messaging. We got to tell them what they're going to do. And then, of course, some of them say, why you ain't putting this kind of pressure on Trump? Because Trump is not asking for our vote like that. It is the Democrats. So we got to tell them. And if they don't do it, well, you have another 4 years of Donald J. Trump. I don't want that. I really don't. But that's what happened. If they think, like they say, keep playing Black folks if you want to. Just keep playing. That's all. We will show you. Just keep playing. All right. So guys, have like I said, thank you for subscribing and joining us here today. I enjoyed talking with y'all, around this time. It's great to talk with y'all around lunchtime or so. And man, I appreciate new people joining. I didn't see, some people at Super Chat and everything. Appreciate everybody that came by. And definitely see you on the next